Ist Team Legendary Vision ready, guys? Okay, ist der Empire ready? Seid ihr wirklich alle ready für diesen Call mit Zain Khan? Guys, ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, wir warten schon so lange auf diesen Call. Okay, ich verfolge Zain mittlerweile schon seit Juni 2019 und ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, ich habe selten so eine Persönlichkeit gesehen. Okay, er hat selber gesagt in einem Call, in einem Mentorship-Call von ihm, hat er gesagt, er ist aus Versehen Chairman 50 damals gegangen. Okay, ihr müsst euch das so vorstellen. Er hat im Januar 2019 den Chairman 25 gemacht und im Februar den Chairman 50 hinterher. Er wollte den Chairman 50 gar nicht machen, weil er unbedingt dieses Pokal haben wollte für den Chairman 25, ja. Aber, ja, wie das Schicksal wollte, was passiert? Er hat den Chairman 50 gehittet. Und mittlerweile ist er im Chairman 100. Kurz vom Chairman 250, guys. Es ist crazy. Ich würde sagen, Leute, ballert mal alle ein All-In in den Chat. Ein All-In in den Chat, wenn ihr ready seid für diesen Call. Bro, hau du noch ein paar Sachen raus. Let's get it.
Yes, Leute. Leute, ihr müsst euch vorstellen, Zain Khan ist eine Person, ja, die habe ich sehr, sehr früh in diesem Business kennengelernt und auch neben Austin Gotze ist das einer der krassesten Menschen hier bei AM. Ihr müsst euch vorstellen, diese Person ist kurz vor dem Chairman 250, ist ein direktes Bein von Immonitie und die Crossline von Bryce Thompson. Das ist krass, ja. Deswegen, ich sage euch eine Sache, für die Leute, die ihn nicht kennen und die noch nicht auf irgendeinen IM-Mentorship-Call von Zain Khan waren, Leute, das ist wirklich krass. Das ist wirklich einfach krass, dass er heute am Start ist. Er ist auch schon im Call und ich würde einfach sagen, Bro, du hast einen Satz, den wir jetzt gleich loswerden und dann gebe ich ganz kurz ein Englisch Edifying, damit er auch weiß, dass er auf jeden Fall loslegen kann. Let's go. Bro, was hast du uns noch zu sagen?
Guys, wirklich extrem wichtig. Okay. Pay attention, guys, because one day attention will pay you. So, let's get it.
Let's get it. Perfekt. Also, Leute, ganz kurz, wir werden Edifying auf Englisch machen und zwar, yes, Zain Khan, if you hear me now, it's really crazy to have you here on this team call. I'm really super excited and appreciate you for your time. It's so crazy that you take your time. You have a lot to do. So you have a really big team, a lot of team calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of events. I know you have a really big inspiration, not only for me, but just for the whole IM company in Germany. So we are really excited to have you here on this call. Yeah, I'm super grateful and I'm really excited about what you have to do today for us. So Zain Khan, really appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And I know I will unmute you. Yeah, and then you have the time. I think you have only 20 minutes, I guess. But I think the 20 minutes are more valuable, like 20 months or something like this. Yeah, it's crazy. So thank you for your time, for your value in the forecast. Yeah, thank you. And I will say, go on, let's go. So perfect. Do you hear me?
Hey man, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you. Perfect. Yes, rastet mal auf! Let's go.
I appreciate you guys jumping me on the call. It's not hello, it's hallo, right? In German, it's hallo.
Yeah, it's hello.
Perfect. So, again, I just wanted to oversee because I know I've been, I've been speaking to Sahel on Instagram, and he basically wanted me to jump on, and I've been meaning to do this. I apologize for last week. I couldn't be on last week just because some things clashed in between. So I wanted to jump on today and actually, be with you guys today. For me, it's been a great journey. Of course, many of you know my story. I know some of you jumped on my calls on Sundays, and I want you guys to know that all of our calls that we do, it's open for everyone, especially the European market, because I feel like we are a family. We're neighbor countries. Everything we do, we can do together to help all of us out. And that's going to help us grow as a European market and compete with the likes of Latin America, the US, etc. So I'm excited to be here. I hope you guys are excited. First and foremost, I want to know how many people on this call are just excited and blessed to be in a position, where you're kind of like, you feel like you're ahead of the curve going into 2021, especially with everything that's happening around us with the, whether it's the pandemic or whatever it is. You just wake up and you're like, you know what? I'm grateful that I'm involved in something where I can create my own economy. I don't have to worry about, X, Y. I don't have to worry about a job. I don't have to worry about, redundancies or furloughs or schemes or benefits. I can actually create my own wealth check within this vehicle right here. So like I said, I wanted to jump on this, not for a long time, but for a good time. And you know, like I said, you know, for me in this company, it's been a straight, you know, flat out spike. And the reason why that is because the first denominator you need to have within this company is because there's only two reasons why people fail within every business, within every company. And if you're writing stuff down, this is probably something you might want to write down. There's only two reasons. There's two reasons why someone doesn't sign up. And there's also two reasons why someone doesn't do well. Number one, lack of belief within themselves. Okay, that's number one. Or lack of belief within the company. Those are the only two reasons why someone fails. Think about it. If someone quits, they either have lack of belief within themselves. They might say, oh, it's because of money, right? They might say it's because of time. They might say it's because of their kids. But that's external excuses. Really and truly is lack of belief within themselves. It's them saying, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the money. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the time. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to put my kids through something else so I can focus on the business. It's lack of belief within themselves. It's just, like I said, it's excused in a more external way so you don't have to argue it. But that's the number one reason. The other reason is lack of belief within the company. Whenever someone leaves the business or whenever someone doesn't do the business for long term, it's because, again, lack of belief within themselves or lack of belief in the company. Is the services doing what they said they would? Is the founder sharing the right vision, you know, and doing the vision, right? Is the company going towards their goal of 500 chairmans or 1,000 chairmans, or is it pushing towards the right trading culture, right? So those are the only two reasons. Now, if I was you and I was coming into a company, these are the two things that I would always have in the back of my mind. Do I have belief within myself? Yes. And do I have belief within the company? Yes. If both of them answers are yes, then you can 100% win. Okay. If both of those answers are yes, then you can 100% win. If you're at a position where one of the answers are no, then it puts you in a dilemma. And that is where you need to be. So the first question I always tell, you know, whether it's a small group or a big group, I always ask them, you know, write this question down and have this in front of you and look at it every day if you can. Can I Am Mastery Academy, can this specific company, because it's both those questions tied into one. Can I Am Mastery Academy take me to where I want to go? And you write the answer down, yes or no. And you can write your goal down next to it. So when I first started the company, I said to myself in 2017, I said to myself, can I Am Mastery Academy take me to $10,000 a month? Right? With everything that it provides. And that was my goal. My goal wasn't to, you know, to become a millionaire trader. My goal wasn't to become a multi-millionaire in the industry. My goal was that if I can start making $10,000 a month, then I feel like I'll be financially content. I feel like that would be good for me, whether I have a family, no family. You know, I feel like $10,000 a month is always a good thing. Being on 120K a year, I'm sure you guys would agree. In Europe, you know, you're living a decent life. So I didn't have a chairman 100. Those weren't my goals. My goals was, can I start making $10,000 a month? So I asked myself that question. If the answer was yes, I just asked myself that question every 90 days. Every 90 days, I would ask myself the same question, because you have to understand, situations change, right? Companies change. In some instances, compensation plan changes, services change. You know, like the pandemic, the economy changes. So many of these can have an impact on yourself and your business. So I always ask myself this question. Every 3 months, I would kind of go again and then go again and then go again. Because the reason why, you have to refresh your mind on what you need to do. Okay. So for me, in the first 90 days, I can tell you right now. And if you're on this call and you're thinking about what can I do after this call that's going to maybe skyrocket my business, or it's going to make me feel like, you know what, my business is on the right trend. Because, you know, we can all jump on a call like this and after the call be excited. But if no one does anything from the call, then the call's just been motivation. And if you thrive on motivation, you're going to lose out, because motivation doesn't pay. Action pays. Does that make sense? So every training that you attend, just remember, there needs to be something actionable after that's going to get you paid. Okay. Now there's 2 ways to get paid in I Am Academy. Just 2 ways. There's no other way to get paid. And I'm sure many of you on this call, just write down on the chat, are you here to be excited, or are you here to be excited and get paid? I'm sure we're here to be excited and get paid. Some of us will be like, you know what? Forget the excitement. I want to get paid. All right. So many of us in this industry, we're prone to get paid, because why? Our goals and our desires, whether we want to retire our parents, right? We're excited to retire our parents. We're excited to buy a new car. We're excited to go to a dream home. We're excited to leave our job. Whatever goals you have, guess what you got to do? You got to get paid, right? Without getting paid, you're not going to reach them goals. So I said to myself, there's only 2 ways you can get paid in this company. One is helping someone sign up, right? Second is putting a trade in on a live account. That's the only 2 ways you get paid. So if you're doing anything else, that's known as active. If you're doing those 2 things, it's known as productive. Okay? If you're doing anything else, let me give you an example. 300 people on this call right now, guess what we're doing right now? We're being active. We're not getting paid for this, right? We're all members. This is not a guest call. So what we're doing now is we're being active. Now, is it important to be active? 100%. It's like cutting a tree, right? You have an axe, you're cutting the tree. You're going to have to pause some time to sharpen the axe, right? You're going to have to sharpen the axe. So that's being active. But you don't cut the tree when the tree is not coming down when you're sharpening the axe. The only time the tree can come down is when you're chopping away, when you're cutting, right? So this is why it's so important that you focus on productive work. And let me use an example, for instance. Sahel, just unmute yourself for a second. I'll ask you an interactive question. Sahel, how long have you been in the company? Can Sahel unmute himself, or is it not able? Is he host? Okay, so he just or just write in the chat box. Everyone else is writing it but him. Okay, let's just use an example. I'll just use a random example because there's too many. But let's just say someone's been in the company 10 months. Okay, someone's been in the company 10 months. Okay, normally you would think about it from a perspective that now that you've been in the company 10 months, someone said, what about ECX? ECX is another one. Once that launches properly, that's another industry to get paid in. That's perfect. Yeah, once you self and through the shop, it goes through you. That's another way to get paid. That's productive. So in terms of, let's say someone's been in the company 10 months. Naturally, sometimes, would you guys agree, when you ask someone how long they've been in the company, they say 10 months or 1 year or 6 months. Now, let's just break this down. If you've been in the company 10 months, the average person in IM, let's say, does 2 hours a day, right? The person that said 10 months, how many hours do you think they do per day? Just write down how many hours. So Sahel put 15 months. So Sahel, how much time do you spend on average on IM through the whole 15 months on average per day? On average, okay? Everything, put in place in paper. 2 hours, okay? So that's generally what happens, okay? Now, some people that are full-time, they do a lot more. So when I started, I was full-time straight away because I had already been in the industry. So I was doing like 8-10 hours a day. I was doing 8-10 hour days, right? But like I said, on average, most people, like I said, 2, maybe 4 hours a day. So if someone does 2 hours a day, think of it, let's say they do 6 days a week. They have 1 day off, right? That's 12 hours a week. You times that for the month, that's about 50 hours, 48 hours to 50 hours, okay? You put that for the year, that's about what? More than 1,200 hours. No, 600 hours. It's 600 hours for the year. So you've done 600 hours on average from the 2 hours per day. Do you know how much 600 hours is worth, productive hours? Those 600 hours are about 3 weeks. Okay, about 3.5 to 4 weeks of the year. So out of the year, you've actually only done 4 weeks productively. Does that make sense? Because it's 160 hours in a week. You times that by 3 to 4, then you get your 600. So out of the year, when someone says, oh, how long have I been in the company? Oh, I've been in the company 1 year, man. I made this much, or I made that much, or I've lost this much, I've lost that much, or I've got no people on my team, or I've got 100 people. Well, really, you've only done about 4 weeks worth of work. Does that make sense? So you got paid whatever you got paid after the year, but you haven't got paid for the year. You got paid for 4 weeks. Think about if you done 4 weeks over and over again, where would you be? Does that make sense? Very important to understand. So in a job, you get paid by the hour. You do 40, 50 hours. What's that in a month? That's 200 hours. 200 hours times 12 is what? More than 2,400 hours. Okay? So it's much more. So you're getting paid by the hour. In IM, do you get paid by the hour? No. You get paid by production, by productivity, by performance, right? The 3 Ps. So imagine knowing that, let's say Sohail in 10 months, right? Or 15 months, sorry. He made, let's say, Sohail, remind me what rank you are in the company. Perfect. So if someone is now making $600 per month, right? Every single month for 15 months, they're now making, what's that? 6,000, around $8,000 to $9,000. They made $8,000 to $9,000. Now that $9,000 they're making per year, per 15 months, that's only dependent on 4 weeks of productive work. Could you imagine if he was to do that 4 weeks quicker? Meaning instead of 2-hour days, he done 4-hour days. It would double his income, right? It's just easy numbers. If he was doing 6-hour days, it would triple his income. Because it's the same work, it's just average that more, right? You will notice that as soon as the threshold for hours increases, the threshold for money can also increase, okay? And this company, what I've seen, it's a massive, massive leveler. What does that mean? Sometimes you can be working so hard and you're not getting the results. And sometimes you can be working not even that hard and you're making a lot of money. Isn't that crazy? That it just levels itself out. You know, sometimes you can be doing all the right things and it's not going your way. And sometimes you can just be doing anything and it's all clicking together. That's why it's super important to track how many hours you're doing, track what kind of process you're going through, track exactly what hours you're putting in. That way, everything will be dependent on doing those hours more or so. So now that you know you're doing those hours, how can I increase it? How can I add to it? Does that mean, so how do I shift up my average? Okay. Now, one of the other things I'll recommend you guys doing right now, I'm sure many of you, just put in the chat box if you got your convention ticket for, you know, the virtual event next month. I'm sure most of this call does. If you don't have that ticket, let's just say you're not really in the company. Okay, because this is not an event in London in the Excel Arena where you can have an excuse. Does that make sense? We had that in February, and I'm sure there was many people from Germany that were there, but of course there was a lot more that wasn't. And because you have to get a flight, you have to tell your work. I understand. But this is a virtual event, meaning it's online. Meaning that there's some people in my group, they're going to be in the event while they're at work. Imagine that. They're going to have it on in the background because it's so important and it's so inexpensive and it's so much more value. All the Chairman 50s and above are going to train on something. All of them, right? All of the high elite earners are going to train on something. All the master educators are going to train on something, right? Your CEOs will be there. Your CFOs will be there, right? It'll be guest speakers on there. So it really, really is the 2-3 days that you don't want to miss out, alongside the ECX drop and the launch. So imagine all of that combined. That can be a great chance for you to pre-launch your business, meaning that I'm sure many of us, I know the situation in London, I don't know the situation in Germany, but there is another lockdown that's very, very due in London because of the cases that are rising. So many of our businesses are online. So if you want to build your business properly online, that virtual event is probably going to be the key boost for you to actually know how to build a home-based business. Because many of the people that are doing the training, like I'm doing a training, I think on 90-day game plan. And in that training, I'm actually speaking to people in a way where they can actually build that 90-day game plan from home, right? They don't have to be out and physical and doing events and so on. An event can be anything. So it can be online or offline, okay? So basically what I recommend is focus on that convention that's happening in about a month or so, and really push towards that. That's something I really want to recommend. I do want to finish off with just a small Q&A. We have about 5-10 minutes, so we'll just finish off with a small Q&A. If anyone has any questions, just write on the chat. I'll take 5 top questions, and I'll just answer them for you through the chat, just in case there'll be some value given for people that actually going through some things and they want some answers on what they would do to help those questions out. So let's go through these questions. We'll give you about 30 seconds so we can get these questions in, okay? And Sahel, what you can do, or anyone else, any of the leaders, you can basically pick what question you want me to answer, because of course you know your group better than anyone else. So you can actually pick which question you feel is probably the most mandatory for your group, because every group is different, and then we can go for that question, okay? Just pick 5. If you want to write it down, you can, and you can let me know. There's a lot of questions here.
Yes, all right, perfect. So just thank you for your time for this part. It's really, really crazy. It's exploded my mind. It's crazy. But now to the questions. I will just see. I think it's yeah. How do you build your momentum to Chairman 10 till Chairman 50? Because you were really, really fast to get a Chairman 50 quick. So how do you build a momentum in your team to this point?
So what I done as a Chairman 10, I didn't do in the first 6 months. In the first 6 months, I was focusing on Chairman 10. So it was like doing everything to get to Chairman 10. And I wasn't focusing on the team. I was focusing on the rank. Okay. And when you focus on the rank, you don't focus on the bigger picture. And I can tell you right now, if you focus on the rank, you'll lose the rank. If you focus on the bigger picture, the rank will keep itself. So what I did as a Chairman 10 was I stopped focusing on my 500 customers per se. I started focusing on the ranks within my group. So I said to myself, what's the quickest way I can go to Chairman 25? And that was to promote Platinum 2000s. I said to myself, as a Chairman 10, if I go 2 ranks below, which is P2K, if I was just to promote a lot of P2Ks, that's going to climb me up the ranks, because I don't want to, just sign up customers, because customers can come and go. But ranks really help the momentum and help the excitement within your team as well. Whenever there's ranks, you guys will notice as well, whenever there's a lot of ranks happening in your group, that naturally means less people leaving your group too, because they see that it's happening for so many people. It's becoming so possible. And that's what I push for. So Chairman 10, I made a 90-day game plan to create as many P2Ks as possible. So I contacted all the P1Ks, went into launch mode with them. And, it was such a blessing that end of 2017, around this time, 2017, I became Chairman 10, and I just pushed. And 30 days later, I was Chairman 25. So it was really just the push of the P2Ks. And, we had about 11 new P2Ks in 1 month. And that really helped momentum grow all the way to Chairman 50. Chairman 50 was like, Chairman 50 was that organic that I didn't even want to hit Chairman 50. I don't know if you guys have heard me say this, but there was a convention in Vegas, right? So it was Vegas Convention 2018. And I had only been in the company since May last year. So I'd never been to a convention. So they were doing this convention in Vegas, and I was saying to myself, man, these guys in America or in the whole world, they have not seen me before. So I'm going to go there new as a Chairman 50. They haven't seen me as Chairman 10. They haven't seen me Chairman 25. I'm not going to get my bloody trophies. Like, I want my Chairman 10 trophy, and I want my Chairman 25 trophies. So I wanted to be Chairman 25 going to Vegas, and then come back, then go Chairman 50, and then get the Chairman 50 trophy in Miami. But yeah, I didn't get my Chairman 10, didn't get my Chairman 25 trophy. I'm still a bit annoyed about that, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, we're looking forward to the next one. But yeah, next question, bro.
Yeah, that's really crazy. Crazy. So here's another cool question. If you had to start all over again from scratch, what would you do different?
That's a good question. I would definitely not burn bridges with people that leave. I used to kind of cut ties. Just not because I didn't like the people. It's just because I got so busy working with my active team that I kind of didn't spend any time focusing on people that had left. And some people that I left, I had decent relationships with when they were in. And when they left, I kind of, stopped talking with them just because I got busy and they got a bit awkward. So I would definitely keep my relationships solid, even if they quit, because people can come back anytime. This is not a company that, it's like a gym, right? Someone leaves the gym, 6 months later, they're back in the same gym because the gym doesn't argue with them. The gym doesn't say, oh man, you lost weight. Why did you leave us? It doesn't say that because it knows that people have different situations, different times. So they can leave, they can come back. You keep that relationship strong.
Okay, perfect. So what was your biggest weakness and how did you overcome it?
I thought you could say what was my biggest week. Yeah, couldn't say that one. Biggest weakness, I would say, in the beginning was definitely the trading, because I had never got involved in trading before. I dealt with cryptocurrency, but only investments. So I was very, very, because I was never very smart in school. So when there was like theory and courses and assignments, I used to really be bad. The only thing that I was good at was practical work and sales. So I was never really good at trading. So in the beginning, to grasp a little bit of trading was difficult. And then obviously in the beginning as well, some people want you to become a very good trader so they can follow you, but it's not the case. You don't have to be a good trader for them to follow you, because, Bryce Thompson is not an elite trader and he's making a lot of money. David Immonitie is a very accomplished sales guy. He is not a good trader. He's making a lot of money. Alex Morton, same thing. Ivan Tapia, same thing. You don't have to be a proficient trader, but what you do need to know is you need to know about trading. And if you know about trading, that's going to help people understand that they can actually get involved and become a better trader than you are even. And you can have some people in your team flourish in that area. Okay, better than you.
Okay, nice. So the next question, because we've got a lot of them, how do you get chairman in the next 90 days and what is the 90-day game plan you have?
Okay, so 90-day game plan, I would say, wait for the actual training that I do, because that's a long question. My training will be in the virtual event. So there's like, I've done a 20-minute session. I think I have 20 minutes, 20-minute session in that. So that will be thorough on what you need to do. Regarding to get chairman, I would definitely recommend don't focus on chairman. Focus on the ranks within your group that's going to take you to chairman. Okay, so you can do it numerically how you wish, because numbers don't lie. Let's look at numbers, for instance. Chairman 10, 500 people with the platinum package. It's 370 people with the elite package. You guys know that, right? So with the elite package, the GB is higher. So the volume, it can be the same, but the customer ratio goes down. So you get 370 people. That's like 150, and 100, for instance. That's 400 people. And if they're all on elites, you're done, right? So if I look at it from a numbers perspective, if I was to divide 400 elites by, let's say, even P1K, that's about 10 to 12 P1Ks. You probably do it in less than that, because every P1K, of course, has 30 customers or so. So 10 to 12 P1Ks all across your team, and you're a chairman 10. Or you can do 30 to 40 P600s, or you can do 70 to 100 P150s. It doesn't matter how you do it, because Chris Terry is not going to say, oh, Zain, you don't have no P2s in your team, man. I can't promote you. No, he's going to say, if you got 400 customers in your group, you're making $10,000 a month, he's not even going to say nothing. He's just going to pay you, right? So this is why it's so important to work with the numbers. That makes sense? Perfect. Let's move on to the last question.
Definitely makes sense. So the last question, I will put it together. How to protect your energy and how do you stop comparing yourself to others, for example?
Protect your energy. I would say never ever worry about the opinions of whether people inside the company or people outside the company. That helps you with your energy. And the best way to do that is try to start your day with some personal development. Okay? That's definitely going to help your energy out. Let him come. That's my son. He's banging on the door because he can hear me. But in terms of your energy itself, leave him, let him go. Let him go. So in terms of protect your energy, that's definitely, I definitely recommend. You need to focus on the fact that there he is. There you go. Say hi. This guy is always energetic. When he wakes up, boom, energy. Okay, so that's something I definitely recommend. Focus on, keeping your energy flat out. Okay, and we'll go from there. There we go. Say hi. Say hi to Germany. There we go. It's not a phone. It's not a phone. It's a mouse. Embarrassing me with that. You should know that. Okay, man. So we're good to go. You're finished. You're finished.
Perfect. So, Zain, very, very much thank you from us all. So it's really, really crazy that you're here on the call. We really appreciate you for your time. So please, I said no to you. Please come to Germany if possible the next time. If we got a big event or something, we would love to have you here in Germany. So you're a really big inspiration for us. So I got a lot of information from this call. So I think the team is too. So thank you for your time. So I can't say enough. So and I think we are done. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much. I'll definitely be at the event when you guys have it. You guys are around the corner anyway. So when we have one in London, definitely come down when the events start again. And when we don't, I'll definitely be looking to come down to yours. Okay?
Perfekt. Perfekt. So, thank you very much. Leute, rastet auf jeden Fall mal. So, Leute, auf jeden Fall crazy. Vielen Gemutet. Okay, danke Ali, danke Ali. Leute, auf jeden Fall richtig, richtig heftig, was Zain auf jeden Fall gedroppt. Ich habe es noch nie in meinem Leben so gehört. Ich bin echt dankbar, dass er auf jeden Fall in den Chor war. Ich hoffe, ihr konntet auf jeden Fall auch was mitnehmen. Ist auf jeden Fall krass, von ihm sowas zu hören, was eigentlich sehr, sehr eigentlich simpel ist. Aber ja, Mann, Leute, ich hoffe, ihr konntet es mitnehmen. Ich habe es auf jeden Fall aufgenommen für alle Leute, die nicht am Start waren. Schickt es auf jeden Fall an jeden eurer Teampartner. Und bevor wir jetzt den Call auf jeden Fall beenden, möchte ich ganz kurz nochmal ansprechen, was er auch angesprochen hat, und zwar die Online-Convention, Leute. Ja, seid auf jeden Fall auf der Online-Convention am Start. Holt euch dieses Ticket. Es kostet nicht einmal 25 Euro. Es kostet nicht einmal 25 Euro. Und ich weiß ganz genau, dass wir in Deutschland, dadurch, dass wir jetzt noch keinen Lockdown haben, ja, definitiv auch alle zusammenschauen können, beziehungsweise in den Städten verteilt schauen können. Deswegen, Leute, schaut auf jeden Fall, dass ihr das Ticket habt, dass ihr da mitschauen könnt. Ja, weil das wird auf jeden Fall life-changing. Und wer das Ticket nicht hat, Leute, dann braucht man sich nicht wundern, wenn man hier nicht vorankommt. Wirklich, das ist ganz, ganz wichtig. Ja, und ansonsten soll ich auf jeden Fall sehr, sehr liebe Grüße von Marvin sagen und euch auch auf jeden Fall daran erinnern, dass morgen um 20 Uhr der Mindset-Call mit Isa ist, Nummer 3. Und Isa hat auf jeden Fall jetzt hier in den letzten Tagen, auch hier, er war in Halle, er war in Magdeburg, jetzt oben in Rostock, auf jeden Fall krassen Value da gelassen. Und ich weiß, welches Thema er ansprechen wird morgen. Schaut auf jeden Fall, dass ihr da am Start seid, dass ihr das Ganze mitnehmt und euren Teampartnern auch Bescheid sagt, weil wir müssen am Ende des Tages, ja, müssen wir alle gemeinsam wachsen, müssen hier gemeinsam das Momentum aufbauen. Und wir sind definitiv auf einem sehr, 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 sehr guten Weg. Ich bin sehr, sehr stolz auf jeden Einzelnen, auch auf also wirklich in jedem Team. Ich sehe auf jeden Fall krasses Wachstum. Schaut auf jeden Fall, dass ihr diesen Call mitnehmt, ja, dass ihr Isa auf jeden Fall mitnehmt, weil er ist wirklich eine krasse Persönlichkeit. Und wie gesagt, schickt diesen Call gerne dann an eure Teampartner. Ich werde ihn auf jeden Fall hochladen. Schaut, dass ihr den rüberschickt, weil das war wirklich, wirklich eine Information, glaube ich, die in vielen hier noch gefehlt hat. Und auch hier, auch mir selber gefehlt nach 2,5 Jahren. Echt krass, Leute. Und Leute, ich würde sagen, ich hoffe, euch hat der Call gefallen. Ich bin echt excited und fired up, Leute. Ja, ich würde am liebsten jetzt springen, keine Ahnung, sonst irgendwas machen. Ja, ich wünsche euch auf jeden Fall einen geilen Abend. Lasst es euch gut gehen. Liebe Grüße hier vom Squad. Und ich würde sagen, lasst es euch gut gehen. Und ich würde sagen, bis später.
German!